Show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.
Hey everybody, it's Wednesday, which means I'm going to sit here and talk to myself for a while. Welcome to the new digs. It's the new office, the new home, which ironically is the old home, which has been my home, but not really my home, but now it's my home and it's really my home. I don't know how much of that made sense. I don't know if any of it made sense. I don't know if none of it made sense. As you can tell, a little in the dark, haven't quite got the lighting figured out yet, but all new things coming. We've really got it kind of a best of interviews this week. Many of you guys know I'm getting married this weekend. So this week has kind of been a hodgepodge of trying to get moved in and trying to get stuff put together for people to be joining us. So it's been a little busy, and unfortunately, the thing that's taken the biggest hit was, well, the show. But the show must go on. The show will go on, and so we're going to continue to put things out there. One of the first interviews that we are going to do is we're going to replay our interview with Brian Gibson of Project Die Hard. Why? This weekend. Please remember to support Project Die Hard with everything in your being. They do have Hope Stock going on this weekend. If you're anywhere near them in the Kentucky area, I would say get out and see what you can do. We're still trying to find the best way to make sure that the pACT channels will be carrying some of their information. We're hoping that comes to fruition. We're always working on something new. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit, or this coming up Friday, we will not have a show due to, well, I'm going to pick up my son. And if I can find some interviews tomorrow, I'll put together a show and I'll record it. But I'm going to say that we're probably not going to have a show on Friday. We are still looking for people who deal with mental health issues and more. So please, if you deal in the mental health world, we want to talk to you. All you have to do is send us an email to pACT, pACT, at communitypayitforward.us. Once again, that's pACT, pACT, at communitypayitforward.us. Tell us, hey, I work in the mental health field. I would like to talk. I would like to tell you about our program, our product, whatever it is. We want to hear more about it. We want to bring it up, and we want to get it out there to people. So, as I mentioned before, our first interview is going to be with Brian from Project Die Hard. This was given to us about a week ago, and I need you guys to realize that this was about a week ago. Uh, Project Die Hard Hope Stock is 2 days away. Tomorrow and Friday starts on Friday. All kinds of festivities. Please go to projectdiehard.org and you can read all about everything that they got going on. If you want to go and look them up online, on Facebook, they're under Project Die Hard. They're all over the place with Hope Stock. Just go and check them out, see what they've got going on, and join them in any capacity that you can. Again, we're still working on how we're going to be able to share them right here on pACT channels. So stay tuned. We will keep you updated. Here's our interview with Brian.
Hey folks, I'm Chip Wynn with Chip Wynn Motors and Chip Wynn Classic Cars right here in Paducah, Kentucky. Today I want to tell you about something that's near and dear to my heart, Project Die Hard. Now what is that? That is an organization set up to help our veterans who are transitioning from military life back into civilian life and to help them do it in a healthy, good way. We need your support, we need your help, we need your financial help. What we're going to do is the weekend of July 28th, 29th, and 30th, we're going to have a massive celebration and a fundraiser for Project Die Hard. Even Saturday, July the 30th, we are going to have a classic car show. Not only our cars will be in it, but the public will be invited to participate as well. Now is the time to step up and support a really worthy organization. Project Die Hard. Come on and join us.
We're back. My name is Zach Clayton, Community Pay Up Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channel. I am being joined by my really good friend Brian Gibson of Project Die Hard, and we're going to be talking about Hope Stock. Folks, we are weeks away, well, almost days away from this, the 29th, 30th, and 31st. We're here, time is now, but you are still needed. Brian, what are some of the most important things you are looking for right now to make Hope Stock happen?
Well, most important things we're looking for right now is, of course, volunteers. We'll always take volunteers. But we need some more sponsorship. We need some funds. We all know JR from the Veterans Ranch. He called just the other day. He's supposed to be emceeing our event. You know, his voice, his great demeanor, he's supposed to be on the stage emceeing. But due to circumstances, fuel costs money. And his organization, we all fight for that, but, we need help bringing JR to Hope Stock. We need help bringing Daniel Faust and Michelle Faust to Hope Stock so they can deliver their message of hope that could save a veteran's life that will be at the event.
There's this event is most everybody who watches the channel knows about this event. Brian, why don't you go ahead and just for those who have never met you before and those who have never heard your story, first tell them about Hope Stock, and then we'll get into Project Die Hard after you're done with the introducing Hope Stock.
Well, Hope Stock is our annual event to give the veterans of the region where we're at a weekend of fun, food, relaxation, fellowship, and some good inspirational talks, just to say, hey, there is hope on the horizon. That's Hope Stock in a nutshell. It is July 29th, 30th, and 31st at beautiful Forward Operating Base Rush. located at 189 Haven of Love Drive, Makanda, Illinois.
We're still going to have portions of this live streamed, correct?
Oh, yes, yes. On the pACT channel and a few others. Again, brother, thank you, because you started that ball. Yeah, it's going to be going out to over 2 million people. You know, again, sponsorships. I mean, you running their commercials to the end of the year. Thank you, God bless. Right? So people step up. I got 8 more days. I can't get your logo on the t-shirt anymore because Ginger and David, you know, they got to do their work. We got a video out on our social media about the t-shirts being printed, but we can put your logo on the thank you board. We can tell all the attendees that you stepped up to save a veteran's life.
Yeah, you know, there's never, and yeah, we understand sponsorship. We understand the way that sponsorship works, but this is a sponsorship of, well, hope. But more importantly, this is a sponsorship about saving lives. Tell us about Project Die Hard, Brian. Tell us what are some of the important things you're looking to do for our country's heroes?
Well, again, the whole mission of Project Die Hard is to build facilities nationwide that give a veteran a place to come for a day, a weekend, a week, a month, up to a year, to get the help they need. Some of my brothers and sisters need a little bit of help. Some need more. You know, so our places are going to be judgment-free zones for veterans. They get to come. They get to talk. They get to not feel punched up, you know? They're among their brethren.
You battled your demons when you got out of the service.
Yes.
Your message from God was brought to you and helped you pull the gun out of your mouth to where now this has become it's become more than just a dream. This has become a drive. This has become what your life is about.
Yes.
Why is this so important to you right now? What makes this just the most important thing you've got going?
Because every day I hear of my brothers and sisters losing their fights to the demon. I self-medicated with alcohol up until that point where I had a gun in my mouth, ready to end it. And then God saved my life. And then when Tim Pinsky's wife called me and said, he's hanging in the garage, I said, there had to be more. There had to be a better way to do it. So for the listeners that haven't heard me before, we formed in 2018. 2019, we just got our footing put in. We were just starting to gain ground. And then good old 2020 hit. But during that 2020, right? Again, this is God's blessing. We had 20 acres and a 10,000 square foot building donated to us. We own it. We got it. It needs some work. This is what Hope Stock is for, to get our name out there, right? To show people, come, put your hands on the building. See, we're going to prove that we're real.
One of the best things that you've got going with Hope Stock is exactly what you just said. Put your hands down. You can take and you can see what this is about. You can feel what this is about. You can hear, experience what is going to be going on with not just in Illinois. This is a plan for everywhere in the United States. This is a program that is, it's hard for veterans to find something like this, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it is. You can go to the VA clinics, you can, right? But again, that's the organized, it's, you become a number. Well, at our facilities, you're not a number. You're a human being that needs help. Again, this is why Forward Operating Base Rush will house 12 single veterans and 2 veterans with their families. Excuse me. It's not a matter of quantity with us, it's quality. Yes, if a veteran needs to come and help finding a job, we're going to have that at our facilities. If they want to come and learn how to blacksmith, we'll have that at our facilities. If they want to come and play with horses, we'll have that. JR and the Veterans Ranch, right? That's what our facilities are. Yeah, we're in Southern Illinois because we had 20 acres and a 10,000 square foot building donated. We have to get this facility up and running first. We have to work out all the kinks, right? I got smarter people around me every day. We got the land, we got the plan. Now we just need the resources to get it done. And this is where your help, your followers, joining with your businesses, picking us as a charity, you're going to be shopping anyway, so why not shop, right?
That's right. Just a real quick a note on this. Every time that you shop with our Mauling One, a portion of your sales does go to help Project Die Hard and the Veterans Ranch through the organization that we have started. Brian, you mentioned something that is very, very special about the forward operating bases, and that's the 2 families, because there's nothing like that anywhere else in the United States.
We haven't found it. We haven't found it. We are the only ones that I know of that will take a veteran and their families in for up to a year. And again, I got to roll back to how did that come onto our mission, right? Because nobody does families, right? When a veteran calls and said, "Are you guys real?" And I said, "Yes, we are." And he needed help, and we got him help. Even though we're tied into networks, we got the veteran help. But come to find out, here's this veteran, disabled, living in a minivan with a wife and 2 kids. What is that? That's when I went back to my people and said, "Hey, we're doing families." And my business guy goes, "Do you know how much it's going to cost in insurance?" And I went, "Nope. But we're still doing it because there's a need there. There's a need."
One of the most important things to remember when it comes to the family, Brian, correct me if I'm wrong here, is it's not only the veteran that feels the pain, the mental drain. It's the family as well. The family, when the individual leaves to join the service, sorry, they don't get that person back. They get somebody completely different back, do they not?
Yes, yes.
So
My wife,
treating the family is very important in this case.
yeah, my wife can tell you. Actually, this Saturday is our wedding anniversary, and she can tell you. Every time I deployed, every time I come back, I was a different man. But she still loves me, and I still love her, and I'm so grateful for her support. But again, families need the support too. And we're going to provide that with counselings and therapies, and just to let the kids know that mommy or daddy's not the same, but they still love you. And they have some problems that we're going to be helping with. And we need your help to help your loved one, your mother, your father. Okay.
It's also good for the kids to be around. Good to have the kids around as these treatments are happening, as this recovery is happening, because then the children will grow up understanding a little bit more, and they're going to be more acceptable of, look, tough times can happen, but there's something out there. I think right now, and I don't think that there's going to be very many people who argue with me on this. There's a lack of confidence in a lot of programs out there, because they say they do a whole lot of stuff, yet when it comes time to it, they don't. Brian, one of the things that you want to make sure that people understand is that when a donation comes to you, it's going directly to Project Die Hard. It is not going to Brian Gibson, the man. It's going to Project Die Hard.
Yes, yes. From day one, we've been totally transparent. You can go to our website. You can see all of our 990s. You can request from our accountant our monthly P&L. If you really want to know how much we spend on toilet paper, that's up to you. But it's there to see. We've been fully transparent. Again, it doesn't go to my wallet. I do not take a salary. None of my board takes a salary. We run off donations and volunteers. As I've been saying on a couple other podcasts, we're trying to bring back what it means to be a nonprofit, to help others, not a real estate magnet, again, we'll never spend $10.2 million on the Super Bowl commercial. This is where all your followers can help us. Go to we're everywhere. We're on Instagram, Facebook, the web. Share our mission. Takes 2 seconds. Tell somebody about us, right? Because we're never going to spend $10.2 million on a Super Bowl commercial. This is how we grow.
And this is one of the most important things that we as a community program, the Community Pay It Forward program, can do. It is our duty to tell people that there are organizations like Brian's, like Project Die Hard out here. This is our duty as people of this program, as a family, to let people know there's something out here that does good for all. It's not, this isn't, you don't care if it's men, women, you don't care if they fought in World War II or where they fought. You don't even care if they fought.
Yeah, again, a veteran is a veteran. They sign that blank check to give, right, all the way up to their life. Whether they've seen combat or not, no. Let's look at Forward Operating Base Rush, named after Sergeant Courtney Rush of the United States Air Force, right? She lost her fight to the demons January 3rd, 2012. She never saw combat. Her thing, she was a crew chief. She did angel flights. For people who don't know what those are bringing our fallen home. So she sat in the back with this, I forget what aircraft but it was a huge one. filled with a bunch of American flags over coffins. And that's what got her. That's where the demon started to poke in. That was her PTSD moment. Right? She never saw a bullet fly over her head. She never, she saw the end result of war. So whether or not you've seen it firsthand, okay, war is messy. It spills over. But again, we're open to all veterans. We don't care what age they are. It's if you serve this country honorably and you need help, this is what our mission is for.
I think that's a very, very good point, a very valid point, that war is war, and we know that there are going to be problems that come with war. But depression has many triggers. There's not, there's no telling on what can really take and turn someone's life from being able to handle life to not being able to, or not wanting to live anymore.
Yeah.
If we don't try to help, then we're not doing anybody any good. So we need to make sure that we get this word out. All we ask you to do is please visit projectdiehard.org. Go read the message. Read the message. Find them on Facebook. Share. All you got to do is hit that share button and send it out to all your friends. Folks, it doesn't take but a minute. Money ruins the world, or rules the world, whatever you want to say. Money rules the world. We understand this. They need money. But what you can do that doesn't cost you a damn penny is to hit that share button to all of your friends and let them know they are here. And then we here at Community Pay It Forward beg you, visit some of our partners, do business with them, right? Send that money directly to send it to us and tell us we support Project Die Hard. This can get this done without you doing anything else. Let's start thinking about this and coming together, and let's work with each other, because if we're not helping someone, we're hurting everyone.
Well, again, I got to remind people, look, we are faith-based and scripture-led.
Yep.
You've heard the story, but we'll tell it again. Last year, that veteran, very successful entrepreneur, came to the mission, said, I will give you $2 million. Okay, great. But here comes the strings, right? You have to remove God from all your literature, and you cannot hand out a Bible. Well, no. God saved my life. We're not apologetic about it, right? We are faith-based and scripture-led. And we ask people to share our mission because we know there's someone out there with the resources, right? They just haven't heard of us yet. They just need to hear about us, hear about our mission, and they could literally just write that check. You may not be able to, but there's somebody out there that can. So share our mission. Again, visit our website, projectdiehard.org. Take some time, go through it, look at the videos of the property, look at the plans, look at it. Just don't scan over. Take the time, take 5 minutes, dive into our facilities, how you can help. There's a myriad of ways. Volunteer. Send us an email, contact@projectdiehard.org. Say in the subject, I want to help. And we will send you information on volunteering. You don't have to be physically in Southern Illinois or Western Kentucky to volunteer for Project Die Hard. You may have that skill that we need. Right now, just off the top of my head, Who out there wants to take over writing a newsletter for Project iHeart? Do you have that skill? Do you have that time? Right? Have you ever done a newsletter? Reach out, contact at projectiheart.org. Let's talk. You know, there's a myriad of ways you can help. Just reach out. We'll send you information. If you decide to go from there, thank you. God bless.
There's also another request I've got for all other podcasters, all over, all bloggers, everybody. If you're looking for a great feel-good story that can feel a hell of a lot better, contact Brian. Reach out to him. Help tell people about what they do. Again, this is a program that is going to save American heroes, save their lives, help them not make end-of-life decisions. 37 a day. We are losing 37 heroes a day. This number is unacceptable. Losing one a day is unacceptable. Losing one a day because they cannot find hope is unnecessary if we let them know there are programs out here like Project iHeart. So please join us, Community Pay It Forward, in supporting and helping Brian, Project iHeart, and everything that they do. And let's bring an end to people not having hope. Brian, I thank you very much for joining us. I'd like to give you the last word. You got anything else that you would like to say?
Brothers and sisters, my fellow veterans, don't give up. We're in the fight. We're not giving up. So I need you not to give up. All right, there is hope. You don't believe me? Open that Bible, Romans 15:13. You'll see it, you'll feel it. There is hope. Don't give up the fight.
To all of our veterans out there, if you need a little bit of help, call us, 970-909-0751. We will get you in contact with Brian, or we'll get you in contact with somebody else who you can talk to, somebody who understands what you're going through. I'll never claim that I understand what you're going through, but I do claim to tell you I care, and we will be here to help you through whatever we can. So please give us a call, 970-909-0751. We are here to help. Please let us do this. Brian, thank you, my friend. We're going to continue to run this. We're going to continue to push. And again, we will run a commercial for you through the end of the year if you sponsor Hope Stock. Brian, how do they contact you to get more information about Hope Stock?
Contact at projectiheart.org. Send us an email, right? And we will send you all the whole information packet. Sponsorship, volunteer, you know. We are blessed that just yesterday, we have a foundation from Southern Illinois that their motto is saving veterans' lives one meal at a time, is coming on board for Hope Stock, and they're going to be handling all the food for the event.
That is so fantastic. Hey, do me a favor.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Do me a favor and have them reach out to us. I'd like to give them all the kudos in the world for what they're doing. Congratulations on your wonderful submission to this wonderful project. We thank you from the bottom of our heart. Again, contact at projectiheart.org. It's not too late to get involved. It's never too late. Make sure that you find out more. Even if you send an email saying, Brian, I vow to you that every day I'll tell at least 10 people. Let them know that your support is there. Your support is needed. Physically, mentally, financially, your support is needed. Every little bit helps. Nothing is too little. Make sure you get out there. So thank you, Brian. I appreciate it, brother. Great luck, continued luck. We're going to try to hook up with you at least one more time before the event. You know, we're going to be here. We're going to be sharing our channel with everything that you guys are doing on the 29th. 30th and 31st. I won't be here, but somebody will be here making sure that we're spreading the word, because this is something important to all of us.
Yes, it is, brother. And this event is just shaping up to be great. If you're in the Southern Illinois area, come on by. That's all I can say.
Hey, and you know what? It's a great time for a road trip. Just remember that. So, but we want to thank Brian. Please remember projectdiehard.org, projectdiehard.org. If you have any trouble finding it, go to networking at community, or I'm sorry, go to communitypayitforward.us, go to our mission partners, and they're under our both heroes and veterans, and they're also under our 501c3s. You can find Project Die Hard anywhere and everywhere. My name is Zach Clayton. I am the president and founder of Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channel. I want to thank you for joining us, and please, please, please remember, our veterans gave of themselves. Let's support them. Thank you, Brian, again. We'll talk to you all soon. Have a great evening. Whoa. So I don't know why I had the double recording, the double sound there going. Kind of felt like weird, maybe. I guess that's one way to do it. Hey everybody, my name is Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and you are in my new office. I welcome you to the new digs, and we are working tonight off some recorded interviews that we have done due to the very busy week that we've got ahead. Again, Project Die Hard starts in 2 days, starts on Friday. Get a hold of Brian now. If you sponsor what they're doing, we will run a commercial right here. Every time we have a show, we'll put your commercial on. If you get out there and be seen as a support system to Project Die Hard. Let me ask you a real quick question, and I think this is a question that's pretty easy to answer. Are not our heroes worth your money? Are not our heroes the ones who have given time and hell, body parts at times, given of their lives, their family time? Are they not worth the money that you can spend to support them, to support a future for them? I think they are. Reach out to Brian at contact@projectdiehard.org. Once again, that's contact@projectdiehard.org. Get yourself in there. Get your business. Put your business where Brian's mouth is. Put your business where your heart is. Let's build this home for our heroes. There's nothing that's more important than the people who have done things for us. So make sure that you get that up there. Make sure that you support what Brian's doing, not just today, but every day. Project Die Hard goes every day of the year. They're out there trying to bust butt to get the fog up and running, Fog Rush up and running, because they need to get Fog Rush up and running to get the one in your neighborhood next. So make sure that you always sponsor our great friends at Project Die Hard. Hey everybody, Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and a very almost empty office. I've got basically a fan, my computer, and my desk, and that's, well, sorry, some chips, you know, or crackers. But that's about it. So we're recording this show for Friday afternoon because, well, as you can see, we're moving our offices, moving our home since it's a home office, and going to start new on next week. And then next week will also be recorded because there's something going on. I can't. Oh yeah, I'm getting married. That's right. So yeah, you know, got to do what you got to do. So being joined today by a really great friend of mine. We ran into each other before we even started networking together, and he and I have been working together for what, Trevor, about
easily. Yeah, it has to be a couple of years because COVID's been what, 2 years? So pre-COVID.
Yeah, that is true. So, and Trevor introduced me to something that I had no idea about, and it's actually kind of funny because we've had an incident here in the recent past where somebody else didn't know anything about it, and it's ADA compliance for websites. Trevor, tell us, why is ADA compliance? Why is it so important for small businesses to do?
Well, there's a couple of reasons. The first one is we're in a world today where everybody is in a group of a various kind. The one thing I think that all businesses, and let's take it from the human side of it, is we don't want to negate somebody, we don't want to be prejudiced them, we don't want to forget, we don't want to alienate them. Whatever term we want to use, we don't want them left out from the main cause of what we're doing, the main people that we serve. So why that affects a small business? Well, it's going to affect them when you talk about people with disabilities. Now, when we talk about disabilities, I think the first image that comes into most people's mind is, oh, somebody in a wheelchair. I think that I was just had a conversation earlier today and said, oh, how does somebody in a wheelchair need accessibility on a website? I said, being in the wheelchair is not the problem. The problem might actually be is that they may have other mobility issues, could be with an arm. Now, that might mean they can't use a very simple thing that we all take for granted as a mouse. They may need to use a keyboard. So what is a person who uses a keyboard, comes to your website, tries to tab across the menu, and it doesn't work? What are they left to do? Ask somebody else to do it for them? Or maybe if you find a problem on our website, give us a call. Well, now you're being prejudiced because you're giving them a different service to what you would give everybody else. So why would you not make that website accessible to them? So when you think of disability, 24, 25%, 1 in 4 people have some form of disability. They're all going to have a special requirement for how they interact with that website. Now, that's a great thing to offer as a service. Well, how do we serve everybody? This is one of the ways to serve everybody without making somebody feel different or disabled. because we don't like the term being disabled, because we think we're less able to do something. Well, in this sense, you've leveled the playing field. I don't have to be disabled if maybe my eyesight is failing at an older age. I just want larger fonts. Maybe I have a colored blindness. I just need to change the colors of your website.
That's kind of one of the things that I was just thinking of, is that, that's a great way for people to look at it. Is, none of us are getting older as the years, or none of us are getting younger as the years go by. We're all getting older. And I know for me, in my early 30s, I could see a street sign from a mile down the road. I can no longer do that. I can't see the computer screen in front of me without my glasses. And I need larger font. And that's one of the things that I think people really need to realize, is that if you can take, and if your font is too small, you are disregarding people who can't read that. It's a morality issue, one, but it's really also losing you customers, isn't it?
Of course it's losing you customers, because all businesses is based on one thing: reputation. How well did you serve them? What's that customer service like? Well, if we take in 3 out of 4 people are all happy, do they tend to tell everybody that they've had a great experience? Not unless you as a business owner reach out and say, would you like to give us a review? You as a business owner have to preempt that and request it. Now, the 1 in 4 that come along and say, hey, this website, they really address my needs. Who am I going to tell? Well, first of all, I'm going to tell all my able-bodied friends and family, 75% of the population. And now, as a family member, say, that's great. Zach Clayton's website was compliant. He gave all equal accessibility to my person here who needs a special requirement. But I, with the special requirement, will look up and say, but I belong to a minority group, and I'm going to share that with my minority group. Then in turn say, Mr. Zach Clayton, we are going to support him, because people with disabilities, the fact is proved that 72% of them are brand loyal, immaterial of the brand name or the price that they pay, because they're being treated without prejudice. And that's what's so important.
When I first started building my websites, and I've always built my website until this last one, and I ended up having this last one built for me. I always wanted to make sure that my websites looked pretty, had the pretty graphics, had everything on it. And I never, ever once thought about, wait a minute, you cannot see the font, you can't see the words, easily through the picture. Everything was kind of blurred in there, or the movement could really cause somebody to have problems with it. There are so many simple things when you're building a website that can really, really make things go out of whack with ADA compliance, isn't there?
Well, yes, ADA compliance, the ADA, American Disabilities Act, is an act about discrimination with people with disabilities. They recommend that you follow the WCAG guidelines. Now, those guidelines are up to version 2.1. Version 3 is due to come out later this year. If you were to go and read that, you probably need a degree in computer literature to understand exactly what it requires. I think it's about 1,000 pages long. Well, you as a website owner and a business owner, are you going to read a document that just tells you how to put an image on your website? No, you haven't got the time. You haven't got maybe the knowledge or the complete understanding. Like, well, it's gobbledygook to start with. Why am I going to make it double Dutch just by adding an image? I don't understand. And that's unfair to put that on to business owners or people that are able to build their own website. Now, like you say, what does it cover? Well, it covers text sizes, colors, movement, sounds, keyboard functionality, whether you can move around the website with or without a mouse, alternative text. Some of these things actually help to rank your website with Google indexing and SEO. That is what a lot of marketers will come to business and say, oh, do you want better SEO marketing? Well, if you've done this with accessibility in mind, you've already covered about 30–40% of that SEO ranking scores that you can earn.
See, that right there is amazing. One of the other reasons why small businesses really need to consider doing this is because there are people out there who are headhunting, right?
So true, so true. This is why I didn't start on this part, because most people have only heard about ADA lawsuits because the website wasn't compliant, because they received a demand letter first, or they've seen in the news that one of the big supermarkets were being taken to court, or one of the pizza restaurants being taken to court because the website wasn't accessible. Now, certain states have more rules than others, but all of them follow the federal law. They all follow the same act. Some put more in and some don't. But that's the reason. When you come up to a demand letter, what do? Well, you can decide to do nothing. Well, demand letter won't go away. You get a court summons. You go to court and says, I didn't understand what was required to do. I don't think it's necessary. So therefore, I will keep alienating the small population that can't come to my website. Judge looks at it and says, well, you're not being compliant with the law. Therefore, you pay the demand letter and pay the damages that go to the lawyer and all his fees. If you're in California, I mentioned damages, it's the only state up now which has the rule called, they can actually pay out $4,000 damages for every incident to every person that comes to your website. So let's assume that you've got somebody that goes to your website today and says, oh, I tried to do the checkout feature and it didn't work. I told my friend who also has a disability and they're partially blind, they also didn't. And I also found out I couldn't choose the color of the item I wanted to pick or the size. There's another feature. Well, that's 4 instances. This is a bill of $16,000 just in damages to the end user before you even think of getting into lawsuits.
And these aren't people who are, these aren't lawyers that are suing people because of, for the ADA, are they? These are just lawyers that are out there making money, which gives them more incentive to look for small business companies who are not following this, because they know that they can win, and they know that they've got, and excuse me with this, but easy marks, because people, they need to get a new website, they need to get it done properly, so they know that they're going to have to spend money. And it's, while it's not inexpensive, it's a hell of a lot more inexpensive than, getting fined.
Oh, for sure. It's the low-hanging fruit. Why go for something that's complicated? Why go for a large corporation where they've got a group of lawyers, but a small business owner may not even have one lawyer on retainer? Now, there's a lot of incidents down in Florida, one of the biggest states that gets hit. California and New York and Texas always getting hit with these lawsuits. And the reason it's done, I can tell you that one lady in Florida, in one county last year, raised 150 cases against her local businesses. Why? Because she was getting a kickback from the lawyers. Now, 150 cases with demand letters. Let's assume they all decide to pay out of court, because that's what the county's demand letters. We're not talking about the lawsuits, just demand letters, 150 of them. 12% of those businesses closed in 2021. Why? Not only just because of the lawsuit, but imagine all the implications and financial burdens that were imposed through COVID, lack of business. This was like the final nail in the coffin. 12%, almost 20 businesses out of 150 closed just because somebody said, oh, I can make money out of you. Now, her, I don't know, but even if she's getting paid $300 or $400 per site, 150, that's an annual salary.
You have changed the name to Selected Service, Select Service from Charity Revolution. What was behind the name change?
I think up until recent, I've always been helping charities, and I still do. The reason I got into this was through COVID, I had to pivot slightly because most of my clients were putting time out with their mobile apps that we would make for them for engagement purposes. Nobody was fundraising, nobody was doing events. I was at a networking event, one of the first I went to, and this gentleman called Aaron looks up to me and said, "Oh, I love scanning your QR code. I like the app, but it's not compliant." And I said, "Excuse me, I don't understand what you mean, Aaron. What do you mean not compliant?" He says, "Well, people with accessibility can't use your app." And I said, "Well, the one thing I do know about app making is that Mr. Android and Mr. Google provide accessibility features on their devices. So it's up to them to make sure that it works on the app." I went, "Okay, but your website here is not." I said, "I don't know about that. I didn't make the website." Well, a little bit of a long story cut short here. I go and check and find out, no, the website is not compliant. I go to them because Aaron repeated probably about 3 times during that meeting, "You know, your client is in risk of having a lawsuit. And the last thing that they probably want to hear from you is that you've put their website at risk because you've exposed it through the app, that they're going to have a lawsuit because it's not accessible." What did I do? I went there, found a solution, which that we still provide today, which is really cost effective. But the point is, they were so happy because they said, "Well, we can't afford to do that because we got rid of our web developer. We can't afford to do this." When I told them the price, that it wasn't even going to cost them $1,000 a year, they went, "Oh, well, we can do that. I can afford to do that because we don't want to be closing the door because we want to help as many people as possible." So Charity Revolution started getting involved with the ADA compliance of websites. And as I was progressing through the year, I wanted to see, did people adhere to this thinking it's a charity thing or for businesses? Now, Charity Revolution, by its definition, relates to charity. Select Services, now, because I've been a marketer for 20 odd years, allows us to offer not only mobile app service, text servicing, QR codes, marketing solutions, but also compliant websites. And it just seemed the better name to use for the for-profit side of the industry as opposed to the non-profit side.
So I hear what you're telling me is that you just didn't have enough to do, so you decided to change it.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you know,
That's
well, that's what COVID did for you. It gave us all an opportunity to do very little for a very long time.
Yeah, you know, some people say that they didn't have anything to do during COVID, and some of us just really got busy. So yeah, but
I got busy.
and okay, Trevor, people can easily find out if they are compliant or find out what they need to change by simply giving you a call, correct?
For sure, yes. There is a text service, which if you like using SMS text services, you can text the word audit 211, and the phone number is 833-556-0830. Or you can always contact Zach, and he has all my personal details. You can reach out to my LinkedIn profile or my email address. Email address is one of two, Trevor, Trevor, at charityrevolution.com, or even Trevor at selectservicesllc.com. Both of them come to me. But if you look for the Web Detective on LinkedIn and various other places, you can connect with me on Alignable, LinkedIn, Facebook. You'll find me.
And again, you can find all of Trevor's connections if you just go to communitypayitforward.us. Trevor is one of our very, very fine partners. And you can find Trevor. He's in the very first category that we have on the computer. He's under ADA compliance. And what that is talking about, and like we said, we know that some people, this is new to them. But make no joke, they're like the first offense right now, they're getting close to $75,000, aren't they?
If it goes to court, yes. You know, how much is a lawyer where you are, and how long does a court case go on for? There are, they say on average, between $75,000, $130,000 for a lawsuit to go through these days, which is why when most companies start off, they get the demand letter from the lawyer, and they say, "Well, here's your demand letter if you want to settle out of court." And they can settle out of court for 5 to 10 grand. Conditions usually are that they will ask you to go with their web designer to redesign a website. Again, how much does a professional website cost? 3, 5, 8 grand, depending on the complexity of it. So even out of court, you could easily be looking at a $15,000 to $20,000 bill. Well,
Yeah,
is there a cheaper solution? Yes,
yeah,
there
very
is.
much so. And just make sure that you're watching out for yourself. Call 833-556-0830. Once again, that's 833-556-0830. Trevor, you and I also discussed a little bit yesterday that WordPress they have something on their website for ADA compliance, but it's not complete, right?
Correct. In fact, I think that was the Wix
Oh,
website.
was it Wix? Okay.
Yeah, so right. They begin with a W, and so is the World Wide Web. How easy that to confuse people with. But yes, was it 10 days ago? Somebody from LA knew about the UNRWA rule, said, "Oh, can you help me with my website?" I said, "Sure." I run an audit report, give it back to them and say, "These are the recommendations of how you can improve the website. There are a few other things that you can do." I went, "Oh, great. I've been looking at Wix. I'm one of these people that can do it myself." I went, "Fine. Allow me to have a look what you've done afterwards to just see if you're up to standard." Go back. And he went, "Wix gave me a template, told me what I needed to do." And I went, "I didn't know Wix provided this service, so let me investigate." I go to Wix website, read all about the ADA parameters that they offer. And right there, they tell you they only operate to 2.0. That was about 2 years ago. We're on 2.1. So they're already on the old amount of compliance. There are new things that are going to be missed. When you read through the article, they actually tell you they don't support 100% of the WCAG compliance rules that are required. So when I ran my report, what happened? He still failed.
And, you know, I mean, it's really not worth it anymore. You know, this really can put your small business in jeopardy. So please make sure that you're protecting yourself. I know that there's a lot of times that it seems like we're trying to scare people into things, but we're not trying to scare anybody. All we're trying to do is make sure that everybody understands what is out there, that, you know, small business is easy to get preyed upon. You know, a lot of us don't go to school for all this. Most of us weren't in big corporate jobs or anything like that. You know, it's like, well, I can do it better than you can, so I'm going to do it. And we jump out full force and try to swim upriver. And well, that sometimes can get us in trouble. So please just make sure that you give Trevor a call and find out a little bit more. He's a pleasant guy to talk to. Looks a little funny, but he's a pleasant guy to talk to. And, you know, but it's a great time, great cause, and definitely well worth your while. And once again, he'll run a free audit for you. So if you don't have anything to worry about, he's going to tell you you don't have anything to worry about. You don't want people just to build a new website, do you? You want to make sure, you know, you want to be truthful with people and help protect them.
Exactly, that's what it's about. You know, we're hoping that by 2025, the whole World Wide Web would be compliant for people. Because if this was done properly right at the programming stage with web developers, most of this wouldn't come out. So there wouldn't be a need for it. Unfortunately, you know, the milk has been spilt, the horse is bolted, so we have to repair what we have. So it's not a matter of just trying to scare people, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to scare you. I'm here to help you. We will scare you, the lawyers, maybe even your next door neighbor. You know, if they know you have a website and they want to make a bit of quick cash and they team up with a local lawyer, you know, it could be that close to home. You just don't know. You know, the ADA website from the government, they actually have a form on there for people to freely report for free websites that are not compliant. Some companies say, "Oh, we know our website is not compliant, we'll put an accessibility statement out, but what you can do is call us and we will deal with those situations." Now, that fails in the law of the land of the law. Why? Because you're now giving somebody a different process to react with that website, because everybody else doesn't have to make a phone call to the company to say, I can't read that text. So therefore, that is a form of discrimination.
You know, and I think it's wonderful how you put that, that's a form of discrimination. Look, when somebody comes to your website, the last thing in the world they want to do is do more work. They're coming to your website to try to make their life easier. If they've got a, you know, we all know what it's like to have to press 1 for, you know, the language you speak, or you know, press 9 for all this. You don't want to do that. You want to get on, you want to connect with people. You want to do your business and move on. So if we make it to where everybody, every time that they have to go on and do something, they've got to go through many steps, they're going to go somewhere else. So make sure that you do care about, and the truth is the truth. And we are in a very litigious society right now. People are suing people over the dumbest things in the world. Let's just bring up the McDonald's case where some woman sued him because she spilled coffee on her lap and said it was hot.
Yeah. Wasn't told as iced coffee.
Yeah. You know, and it's just, folks, you got to watch out for yourself, and that's what we're here to do. Once again, you can get a hold of Trevor by calling 833-556-0830, 833-556-8030. And then, Trevor, what is your website?
Well, the website is charityrevolution.com. It will show you, if you go there, about what provide services we gave to non-profits. But if you look on there, there's an orange button on the bottom left-hand side. It just shows you what we do. We install a user interface, and you can sit there and play and change all the aspects that you want on that website. While you're doing that on your screen, it's great because it's only on your screen. It doesn't affect the website, doesn't affect how you designed it. There's no permanent changes. It's all done live via the cloud. So therefore, there is no real permanent change to your website, only to the user. And that's the benefit behind it, because it's user choice. And just to quickly recap, the phone number 833 is a text service only. So you would have to use the word audit 211 in front of that. But if anybody wants to call me, then I'll give you the phone number. It's 321-234-2627.
And I'm sorry about that, but yes, please just text audit to the number that I've given, 211, audit 211 to the number I've given you a couple times. But yeah, make sure that you reach out to Trevor. Once again, he is a community pay it forward family member, great friend of mine, real active in the nonprofit world, here to help guide you through all the steps and all the stops. If you need to talk to somebody about getting started, this is a great man to start with. So make sure that you get a hold of Trevor at charityrevolution.com. Trevor, I appreciate it, brother. This is the second time we got to talk in the last couple of days, and it's been long overdue. So, you know, we should be talking more often, like, you know, once a week.
We should. Yeah. Well, why don't we try and do that? Why don't we schedule something?
Yeah.
Maybe on a Monday, when it's manic.
Yeah.
But
well, you know what? Let's go on ahead and let's get into that a little bit. Let's get into charity collaborators. Why don't we go on ahead and tell people what you're trying to build there with charity collaborators?
Well, I appreciate that, Zach. Thank you very much. As you well know, trying to work with non-profits is a special breed and a special cause to do that. It's not everybody's cup of tea. What I've set up over this last year is we're building a networking group where people of like-minded feelings want to help non-profit to do better. Now, it could be that they are a resource that they can offer services, or they just know other people who can help non-profits to do what they do better. So every Monday, we have a networking meeting that we'll get together. We'll try and find how we can help more people, invite people. And it's really aimed for those charities that want to do something local. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel for the big national charities. It's those small charities trying to find either information, how do they do something they're already doing better, where are the resources for certain people. It's about what your business is about, is building a relationship, finding a referral, finding a resource. And that's what I like to think as I am, as a resource, just as much as Zach is, because if you find people who are resourceful, they will give you something that you really need of value.
We have a couple of our other partners who are part of this, and one of them works closely with you, and you guys do something similar together, which is Z World Webs, Mr. Z.
Yes.
But it's not a competition. This is all about helping out charities. We've also got Mr. Tommy Bach, who joined us a couple weeks ago, and from Bill Pro. And these are people who are just really getting together, who have experience at something that deals with charities, that has something to offer to try to make the road a little less bumpy. I've been absent for the last couple of weeks due to other things going on in my life, but I am a proud member of charity collaborators, and I will be jumping back in here pretty soon. This happens every Monday at 2:00 Eastern, correct?
That's correct, yes.
So
if you reach out to us, we can get you a link. You still got a link to sign up with. So again, very easy to join us. It's a group that's not open to everybody just to turn up and find it splashed all over Facebook or Eventbrite, because the idea is that you're looking for the quality behind people. And when you find good quality people, you don't want to be spread too thin.
And the truth is that we are aimed directly at nonprofit. And if your company offers something directly to nonprofits, you might want to come check us out. If you're a nonprofit that's looking for somebody to help you with something, might be a good place to get started, right?
Exactly. How much does information cost? Well, we don't charge for information. We try to point people in the right direction. Whether we can help them is a bonus. But, at the end of the day, if you can share knowledge and you come along and say, oh, I heard there's a group of people trying to help you. Because at the end of the day, who looks after the pennies? Well, the dollars will look after themselves, but we'll help you right from the very start. So every penny that you have feels like $1 for. That's what we're there to do.
And every single one of us understands some of the hardships that you have going through. Every single one of us has worked with charities in some form or another. So please make sure that you join us once again. Get a hold of me at communitypayitforward.us, or you can shoot me an email at zach@communitypayitforward.us and say, hey, I want to check out charity collaborators. I'll get you a link. You can come on in, check it out. You'll see if it's for you. We'll find out if you fit the guidelines that are have been established by the group, and it can really be a beautiful thing, because once again, it's people helping people who want to help people. So it's a wonderful program, and again, we're very proud to be part of it. And we've got quite a few of our other Community Pay It Forward family members associated with this. You can find a charity collaborator section on our website when you go to our verified partners. It says charity collaborators. You can find out all about it right there on the website, communitypayitforward.us. Trevor, give me your information one more time, and then we'll let you go.
All right, I appreciate that. But before I do, I'm going to say good luck with the move, and happy, as I say, you can't say a happy wedding, but happy future life with your new beloved, and make new memories and stories. So I wish you luck. Everything goes well for you for the future.
Thank you.
So you're very welcome. Very welcome. And if you want to get hold of me, of course, most people don't like to talk on the phone, so that's why we have a text service. It's called Audit 211 to 833-556-0830. If you do want to talk to me, then you can pick up what we call in England the dog and bone, the phone, which is 321-234-2627. But of course, I prefer the digital methods, which is things like LinkedIn. You'll find me as the web detective, Trevor Gibbs. You'll find me on Alignable. You can find me on my website or Facebook pages. But of course, you can, if you want an email, it's trevor@charityrevolution.com or trevor@selectservicesllc.com.
All right. Well, hey, Trevor, again, thank you very much. It's great to be able to catch up to you this week. And I look forward to getting back in touch with you here in a couple weeks after this whole chaotic move and wedding thing passes by. But
that's a new chapter for you.
Yep. New chapter, new life. Not getting any smaller, just getting bigger, getting better. So
bigger and better.
Yeah. So, but onward and upward. So, thank you, everybody. You've been listening to one of our pACT shorts. We've been here with charity collaborators, Select Services, Charity Revolutions founder Trevor Gibbs. My name is Zach Clayton. Community, because you know what? Nobody has to go alone when we all take care of each other. And just remember, man, if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. We'll see you at the next time on one of our interviews. Love somebody out there because somebody out here loves you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Been working with Trevor for quite a while now, and he really truly is a really good guy. A lot of fun, a lot of great knowledge. As I had made mention in that video, we did end up running into somebody a couple weeks ago. Not going to bring up a name, not really all that important, but it is truly shocking to me that there are people nowadays who don't understand that, you know, ADA compliance is not just wheelchair ramps. If we don't have fonts where people can read them, you know, you're alienating people who have eyesight issues. If you're eliminating people who can't read because of motion in your websites, and I'm very, very guilty at some of that. I'm very happy to say that our website now is very compliant with the ADA. You got a little button that you take and you can shut off any and all motion on it, and or you can make the fonts bigger, or you can take out the colors, or you can do whatever you need to do, and it's a great. And communitypayitforward.us. Like I said, we're extremely proud to be accessible for people with different levels. And it's a simple thing, folks, but it's a simple thing that if you do not have, it can get you into a lot of trouble. We did make mention there are headhunting lawyers out there who are taking people to court, and they're doing it because why not? They can. That's what they do. They take them to court. Does anything change in ADA for the ADA? Does anything change for people with disabilities or at different ability levels? No, but they get richer. So just remember that ADA compliance is very, very important, and it truly does. It helps the people who are wanting to shop with you, and it allows them to get. It allows them to be on your website comfortably. Here's one example. This is, of course, this is my website because well, I can't show you anybody else's website without their permission. So, um, and I can tell I'm lagging terribly. So, um, very sorry about this. Let me try it again. Okay, so here's our website. This is communitypayitforward.us. And right here, this is what ADA compliance does. At least I'm hoping it will come up. You got people can control the contrast. They can highlight all the hyperlinks to where they can see them easier. Bigger text, wider text spacing, pausing all animations. Some people, this even this little amount of animation makes it difficult for them. Well, they hit that button and it stops the movement. There's no more difficulty with it. Okay, dyslexia friendly. Um, the cursor makes the cursor giant. I mean, look at this thing. Your cursor went to, really big to where you can. And this one for me, I'll be honest, this one for me is really helpful because I'm not the greatest reader in the world. I do need something to make sure that I can read everything at once. But you know, um, and here's another. It's a reading guide. So just so many things that are on here that can help you out. The line height, the texting alignment, um, saturation. Uh, there's so much more to uh, whoa, that was a weird sound. There's so much to compliance that you don't realize if you don't know. And what you don't know is hurting. You can hurt your business. So please make sure. Oh, hey, Oob, my son, my baby boy there, who, by the way, I'm going to say it right now. Happy 21st birthday, buddy. My baby boy's turning 21. Such a weird feeling. So, but he turns 21 tomorrow. We are in this weird week for me. We do have a lot of stuff going on, as I've forementioned. We do have the wedding. We do have everything else coming up. So we are again probably not going to be on next or on Friday. I just I'm not positive on that, but unless I can find somebody to some new content, I don't think that I'm going to be out there on Friday. So we've got one more video that we're going to share with you. And this was a video that we did a couple weeks ago, another part of Charity Collaborators. This is Tommy Bopp. Tommy is another great friend of mine. Tommy came all the way from Auburn to Greeley, Colorado. And yes, his wife has family here, but I still like to think he just came here to see me, but and we know the truth. He did. So, but this is Tommy Bopp with Bill Pro. Um, another great program. This is one that I'm telling you, if you're in a small business, you need to call Tommy because it doesn't cost you anything, but it can save you a lot of money. So check this out. On fun interview, another really good friend. I love doing this interview. This is Mr. Tommy Bopp with with Pro Bill with Bill Pro Specialist. Hey everybody, Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. We are in the middle of all of our interviews today with our partners, great friends from all over the country, as a matter of fact, who do some wonderful things. And what we're doing is we're telling you their stories. We're going to introduce you to these wonderful people so you can know who they are, what they do, and you utilize them, and you can raise money for some great causes that need your help right now. My guest right now is a really good friend of mine. This gentleman did something that was amazing. He came all the way from his home out east to come and see us. And one of our last, about a year ago, Tommy, correct?
August, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're going to claim he came just to do that. It had nothing to do with his wife having having relatives there in Denver. Nothing. He just came to see us. But yeah. Right. So, and it really took me off guard how tall this guy is. He doesn't seem that tall in that little box that you see in front of you. He's pretty tall. So, but I'm being joined today by Mr. Tommy Bopp. Tom, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Zach. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing very, very well. So, you switched from Balcom to Utility Bill Pro. Why the change?
Yes, I changed my name about actually less than a year ago. The reason is because I started doing all these. It's a byproduct of COVID. I started doing all these networking events and these Zoom events, and I had never really thought much about my company name before. I had named it the Balcom Group because like a group of consultants. So and there was a group of us at the time. So it seemed like a professional name, but it didn't convey anything, Zach. You hear the Balcom Group, you don't know, well, is that a group of lawyers or accountants? You don't know what it is. It really didn't matter at the time because I would always meet everybody in person and explain what it is. But now people are looking at my website and my LinkedIn profile, and my name needs to convey what I do. And so it was brainstorming between me and a couple other guys, and we decided Utility Bill Pro lets people know what I do, that I'm someone with expertise and experience when it comes to reviewing utility bills.
What you do and what you specialize is very simply put in your guys' tagline, and that's let your bills pay you. Why don't you explain to us exactly how the process goes?
Yeah, absolutely. What we do is get a copy of, let's say we sign up somebody, never have worked with this person before, and we need to get a copy of each one of their utility bills. Now, when I say utility bills, that means power, gas, water, telephone, any phone bill they have, could be local, long distance, cellular, and also the solid waste disposal. So I just need 1 month's worth of that billing. Then I also get a letter of authorization signed by the client. And with that information, I can access their history online. So I can go back and look at their billing history for 3 to 5 years, depending on where it is. And so what I'm trying to do is find errors in the billing. That's all I do, Zach. I don't have any product to sell. I'm not trying to help them use less energy. I'm just trying to help them pay as little as possible for the energy that they do use. So let's say I review all the bills and I find 2 or 3 errors on the billing. The next step, and this is very important, I don't go to the utility company to correct them. I come back to the client and I say, hey, look, here's what I found. Here's how much it will save you. Do you want me to correct these errors? I always do that because the customer needs to know the ball's in his court. He's making all the decisions. He's running the ship, not me. And so at that point, I may come back with these errors and he can tell me to go jump in the lake. He doesn't want to fix it. Now, I've been doing this for almost 30 years, Zach. No one has ever, not even once, told me don't correct those errors. But it makes them feel comfortable at the beginning of the process because they don't know what it is I'm going to come back with. And they think, oh, maybe you're going to come back and tell me I need to turn my lights off when I leave the building, or I need better insulation, something like that. I don't do any of that. And you can't quantify that anyway. What I do when I correct these errors is quantifiable right down to the penny. And the reason our tagline is let your bills pay you, Zach, it's something people don't think about. They understand that if I come in and I correct this error, their bills are going to be lower going forward. But what most of them don't realize is that you also are entitled to a refund. You've been overpaying. And now I point this out to the utilities, say, look, you guys made a mistake. You overcharged. You need to give them their money back that they overpaid. There's a statute of limitations with every state, and it varies from 3 to 5 years, but they will go back 3 to 5 years, refund that money with interest. So a relatively small error can produce a pretty large lump sum. So I always tell people, wouldn't it be nice to go to the mailbox and instead of there being a bill from the power company, there's a check from the power company made out to you for that money you've overpaid. And that's how your bills can pay you.
And one of the things that you do not do, you already said that you don't sell a product, which is great. You also don't make them take and cash a check that was written by a king in Zimbabwe that you're going to take. This is not a scam, right, Tommy? How much does it cost for them to talk to you?
Absolutely nothing. This is what we offer, Zach. It's a no risk. It's a free analysis of your utility bills with no risk and no obligation. I've already said there's no obligation because you can say no at any point. It's free to do the initial analysis. Then if we find something and you decide to proceed, our compensation all comes out of money that we have first recovered or saved for you. So no one ever pays us a penny out of their pocket. And there's also no risk because I may review all these bills. I may spend hours looking at everything and I may not find anything. So there is risk, but it's all for me. I may do all this work and not make any money.
And you're never going to find fewer mistakes than you're going to charge.
That's right. Yes, exactly. So I was just tell people it's free, risk-free, no obligation. It truly is one of those rare win-win situations, and the client has nothing to lose. So I want them to get to the point, and I've had this happen, where we're talking about it in our initial conversation, and the person will look at me and say, why wouldn't I do that? Bingo, you're there.
Can you give me some of the utilities that you guys specialize on? Sorry.
Yes. Part of it depends on where the client is located, because certain areas, there are certain utilities that make more errors than others in certain areas.
I think I have all of those.
Yes,
I think I have all of those.
You might very well. And something else, there are a lot of factors to consider. One is that solid waste disposal and telephone companies, telecommunication companies, they're not regulated by the Public Service Commission, like the power and the gas are in most states. Now, how much power the Public Service Commission wields in different states, that varies a lot. But in certain states where the PSC does not have a lot of power, that's where I really have to watch out for the power and the gas company because they're kind of operating unabated. They can get away with a lot of things if no one calls them on it. And if you don't have the PSC to go to, your only resort is a lawsuit. And most people, especially individual consumers, their bill is not big enough to warrant a lawsuit. So it depends on how the PSC operates. It also depends, Zach, on whether or not the state itself, the utilities are deregulated or not. Where I live in Alabama, it's a regulated state. That means there's no competition. If you're with this power company, you're with this gas company, that's who you're stuck with. You don't have a choice. Other states, you have opportunities. And so that competition helps keep them honest. So to answer your question, it varies from state to state, but there are some states where I really, I find more with solid waste disposal. Others, it's more telecom. Others, it's more power. It all just varies.
Okay, so what happens here in Colorado? We have Excel for electricity and Atmos for gas. That's it. Those are our options, unless
Yeah.
of course we go to propane or whatever. Is there a way? Is there still an opportunity for people to save money there or get money back from their bills, from their past bills?
Yes, absolutely. The fact that it's not deregulated, that's no problem. All that means is we cannot threaten one of those companies with switching to another company. It means that we cannot go in and negotiate in the typical sense. But that's okay, because primarily what I do anyway, Zach, is not those things. It's just looking for billing errors. There are all sorts of overcharges, and there are acts of commission, but also omission, things that sometimes should be on the bill that are not there. So the fact that there's just one company to choose from, that's no problem. I can still go in and find out if that company made an error. And if there is a legitimate error, they will correct it, and they will give you a refund, no matter whether the state's regulated or deregulated.
You know, when you said that, for some reason, the first thing that popped into my head was a call to Excel Energy. And you say, if you don't switch this, we're going to switch the companies. And you have like a mouse and a little running wheel connected to a generator, you know,
Yes.
because that would be who they would have to go through. So,
Exactly.
well, let's get this one out of the way. You already said the state that you're from, Alabama or Auburn?
Auburn, War Eagle, baby.
All right. So, yes.
I live in Auburn now, Zach.
Ah, do you? Yeah, 'cause you just recently moved.
We just moved here a couple of months ago. That's right.
So, how long have you been doing this?
I have been doing this for a little over 28 years.
28 years.
Yes.
Tommy, what makes you keep going? What makes this so? And we're going to get to talking about your true love on who you like to support the most. But what keeps you doing this? What keeps the fire lit for Tommy Bach on helping people get through this difficult situation?
Yes, that's a great question, Zach, because I have stayed motivated through all these years doing this. My initial motivation was trying to feed my family, okay? Trying to make enough money to cover expenses. I remember when I started this company, and my wife was very nervous because she was pregnant with our first child. And she said, I don't want to be rich. I just want enough money to pay the bills. And I said, all right, I'll start working on that. So that was the first goal, just paying the bills. So, but as time has gone by, my kids have gotten older, they're gone now. What keeps me going is the fact that I can't stand to see waste. I can't stand to see companies overpaying. There are certain companies that I'll ride by. I know they're overpaying. I've been doing it long enough. I know there are certain mistakes that are on their bills because I've worked with similar companies in that area. And every time I do, there's this certain error. And it just bothers me to know that they're overpaying. I don't like to see that happen. Also, the fact that if I don't go in and correct it, probably no one else is. There still are not very many people who do what I do, especially where I live. And there's nobody, and I say this with a great deal of confidence, there's nobody that I know of who's been doing it as long as I have. So there are certain tricks, things I've learned along the way that people don't know. So it motivates me to go in there and to make sure people are not spending any more than they have to.
You and I connected, and we ended up meeting and we ended up talking, and there was an instant uh, uh, attraction there because you love working with small to medium nonprofits.
That's right.
What is it about the nonprofits that really draws them to you?
You know, I was starting to make this change, Zach, in 2019, right before COVID hit. I was talking to my wife and I told her, I said, you know, I have always pursued the bigger companies because they have the bigger bills. That's where I can make the most money to educate our kids, to take care of all these expenses. But as they were starting to leave, I said, nobody's looking after the smaller guy, the smaller companies, and certainly the nonprofits. Most people who do what I do, and there's nothing wrong with this, but they're just pursuing the big commercial and industrial accounts because they have bigger bills, so you can make more. That makes perfect sense. But I'm at the point where I wanted to give back some. And I had worked with a few churches and schools along the way, a couple of government entities, which are nonprofits. So I'd worked with some nonprofits along the way. So I started thinking I want to give back more. So right before COVID, I was starting to make that transition. Then COVID hit, Zach. The clients I already had who were nonprofits were complaining to me. They said, we're being killed by COVID because our donations are way down, and our donors still want to give, but they can't. They don't have the money. So I started thinking, you know, I can't replace all the money not coming in, but the one way that I can contribute, the one thing I know how to do is look at these utility bills, and I can slow down the money going out. Also, in a way, I can replace some of the money coming in through refunds that I get. It's very helpful to a nonprofit when you can not only lower their bills, but bring them a refund check. And I have several examples of nonprofits I worked with, and sometimes I didn't even know this going in, but I will get them a refund. And you didn't know this, but we needed this amount to add this room to shelter one more child who's been abused. So it's so heartwarming to know, Zach, that when you save money for a nonprofit, they immediately take that money and they use it to help somebody. A commercial client invests it back in the business or it goes in someone's pocket. And hey, I love that. I'm all for that. That's capitalism. That's great. But it's a different feeling, though, just to see them directly help an individual.
We're looking right now at some of your testimonials, and I love seeing that this museum and motorsports park, you know, and then here's one from Lamar at Outdoor Advertising, 4,000 a month savings. And these aren't nickel and dime savings that you find. These aren't nickel and dime mistakes that you find most of the time, are they? These are something that have been repeatedly happening over and over again.
Yes, they can be very significant. And just that middle one that you just mentioned, the Barber Motorsports and Museum, that is a nonprofit in Birmingham, Alabama. Huge, great attraction to people who are interested in motorcycles. Now they have a racetrack there. They have all sorts of events. They're racing events, but it's also the world's largest motorcycle museum. So they called me. They actually called me. I had been talking to a sister company of theirs, but they called me because they had gotten a proposal, Zach. I'll tell you this story real quick because it conveys some important things. They had gotten a proposal from the power company, which is unusual to begin with, the power company even approaching them to put them on a different rate. And they said, if you'll sign this rate and we'll switch you over, you'll save $18,000 a year. So they thought, well, that sounds good. What's the catch? And they said, well, you're committed to this rate. You have to stay on this rate for 5 years. What they were really saying is you're going to be our customer for the next 5 years. You won't be able to go anywhere else. And at the time, Alabama was very seriously considering deregulating. So the power company was afraid they might lose this. This was a prize customer and they might lose them. So they came in and they made them this offer. Well, they were afraid to sign anything for 5 years without a third party opinion. So they had me come look at it. I said, all right, let me crunch the numbers. So I said, first of all, if you do switch from rate A to rate B, they're right. You'll save $18,000. That's exactly right. No doubt about it. Sounds good. What they are not mentioning, though, is there's another rate, which I call rate C, that if you switch to that rate, you'll save $55,000 a year. And if you get on that rate, then you're eligible for a rider, which I call rate D, could be, and that'll save you another 5,000. So the moral of this story is you really need an experienced, I guess, expert consultant to look at any document you might sign with the utility company, because they were going to sign this and they would have saved $18,000 a year. They would have thought the power company was heroes. It had been great. I got them to sign a different contract and they saved $60,000 a year. And they've been saving that, Zach, for over 10 years now.
When things like that happen, and Tommy, I'm not approaching you with this question with the intention on, hey, throw some dirt on some of these guys, but they have trained individuals who they tell the truth, as this company did, as this electric company did, but they don't tell all of it, do they? They leave out the little points that, yeah, well, you're going to save all this money, woohoo, but you could save more if you do this.
Right.
They leave that part out. They're trained to do that because they're trying to sell you, but not always with your best intentions in mind, right?
You don't want to cast aspersions with too wide of a net, right? So it depends on which company, and honestly depends on which individual sometimes. Maybe in this case, it depended on this guy's supervisor. I don't know. But they did not tell the whole story in this case. Now, I'm sure sometimes they do. But the point is, how are you supposed to know? If they're the expert and you're not the expert, well, you need to call in a third-party objective expert, somebody else to look at it who has your best interest at heart, to confirm it, or maybe not to confirm it, to see. It's just hard to know. We all know there are unscrupulous people out there. I have seen companies, especially the ones that I mentioned that are not regulated by the PSC, like solid waste companies, telephone companies. I have seen them sometimes intentionally overcharge and put in some bogus charges and put in some bogus rate increases on regular intervals. And again, there are honest people in all these industries, but you just have to, you've got to watch out for yourself. And so I'm here to offer that service. And sometimes that, and this is rare, but sometimes we don't find anything, and people will still thank me because they'll say, at least now I know.
Yeah.
I always wondered if I was overpaying, and I am paying more than I want to, but at least I know I'm paying the lowest I can pay.
And again, those people, when you found nothing, how much did they pay?
They didn't pay a dime, nothing, but they
Incredible.
got some peace of mind out of it.
Once again, Tommy is a verified partner. He's one of our brothers. He's been with us for a little over a year now, and we love having him. We love him as a great friend, and definitely love him as a partner. You are in the Alabama area, but where can you work?
Actually, I work, Zach, all over the country. My most recent clients have been in Florida and the state of Washington. So that's pretty much one corner to the other.
Yeah, that really truly is, right?
Yes.
Tip to tip. So
I can work
as everybody in Florida.
I'm trying to work. It's kind of a goal of mine to have at least one client in every state. I just think it would be fun to be able to say that. So I've worked in a lot of different states, Zach. It doesn't matter where people are located. In fact, I'm about to have my first clients in Canada and in Puerto Rico. And it seems like the only qualification is they either have to speak English, or, as in the case of Puerto Rico, I need to have a contact who's bilingual. So I always thought language was the barrier, but in Puerto Rico, I don't think it will be. But to answer your question, where the people who might be hearing this are concerned, I can work in any of the 50 states.
As long as you're not in Canada where they only speak French.
I'm trying to work in the English part of Canada, right? The English speaking part.
So, all right. Tommy, how did people get a hold of you, my friend?
Yes, there are a couple of different ways. Probably the easiest way, Zach, is to go to my LinkedIn profile, which, hey, one of the advantages, Zach, of having an unusual last name, if you type in Tommy Bop, you're going to find me. There are not too many of us floating around out there. So
there was that one, but he was a cartoon character and he doesn't quite look like you. So, but
yes. So there now I will tell you this, my mom's name was Betty Bop. And boy, did she take a lot of grief because of Betty Boop.
Wow.
Being out there.
Your dad had to have thought that was hilarious when they first started dating.
Oh, yes. Well, I told my mom, I said, I know you had to really love my dad if you were willing to take on that name, your first name. People can reach me on LinkedIn. They can type in my name. They can type in Utility Bill Pro. People can send me an email at just tfbop@gmail.com. But LinkedIn, I think, is the easiest.
Yep. And once again, that's utilitybillpro.com is the website. You can also get a hold of him at 334-354-2563. Once again, that's area code 354-2563. So, Tommy, thank you very much for joining us for this interview. We greatly appreciate it. You keep up the great work. And how's the summer going there for you?
Everything's going fine, except it is extremely hot. It feels like it's always hot and humid in Alabama in the summer. It seems to have come a little early this year, and maybe be a little bit hotter. But work is going great. COVID has a silver lining. I've met a lot of people like you who I would not have met otherwise, because of Zoom and networking, and that's why I've been expanding and working with people all over the country, because I no longer have to go visit them in person. We can do it like this.
That's right.
Yeah.
When we first met Tommy and he came to Families, Cubs, and Causes, he comes out there, we're all dying, we're sitting there sweating, just dying. It was hot. Tommy comes walking in, he's like shivering, he's like, it's not hot here. What are you guys talking about? So yeah, we were like going, no, you're just not human. I don't know what it is with you guys down in lower elevations, but I don't see how you guys can do that. My fiance just was in New Mexico over the weekend, and it was like 103 there. And I told her, when you come back, do not bring that with you.
No.
Don't do it. I don't want it here. So, but. All right. Once again, Tommy, I thank you so very much for joining us. As always, we love having you in the Community Pay It Forward program. You can always find Tommy under Bill Mitigation and a couple other places on our Verified Partners page. So please make sure that you look them up. Take a look at everything you got to do. What's it hurt, folks? You know what? We're coming into a time where we know the recession is going to be hitting some businesses really, really hard. This is the time to call somebody. Make sure you're not overpaying, because overpaying is something nobody can afford to do now. So please call Tommy. Tommy, one more time, how do they get a hold of you?
They can reach me on my LinkedIn page. Look up Tommy Bop or Utility Bill Pro. My email is tfbop@gmail.com, and my phone, 334-354-2563.
So much easier you saying it than me trying to read it and
Yes.
speak it at the same time. So
Right.
Well, once again, this has been a pACT short. We've been here with Tommy Bop of Utility Bill Pro, formerly the Balcom Group. But we're going to be bringing you many more of our partners. Tommy is a gold partner, so he's going to be with us for quite a while. Be looking for this to be running about twice a week. you have any questions, please make sure you give them a call. You have nothing to lose, literally nothing to lose. They find nothing. Tommy, is it easy for you to make up something to where people have to pay?
No, it's impossible. They will see either the refund check itself or the savings on the bill. And if they have any questions, I can show them how the savings are calculated. The one thing I always tell people, Zach, there's no guesswork when it comes to the savings. It is quantifiable right down to the penny, and I can show them that.
There you go. It's not going to scam you, not going to cost you anything if they find nothing. And if they do find something, you still get money back. All you got to do is give them a call. Once again, you can find out more about them. Give them a call, 334-354-2563. Tommy Bopp with Utility Bill Pro. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, Zach. Thank you so much for having me.
Have a great day. And what does she do? She brings that weather back with her, because now we've had like 2.5 weeks full of upper 90s, 100-degree weather. So she brings it back with her. Ask her for one thing: don't bring that weather with you. And she does it. I want to thank Brian Gibson. Please remember, Hope Stock starts Friday. So check it out. Make sure you stay tuned in right here to the pACT channel to see what's going to happen on Friday. We will be running some stuff live. I don't know exactly what it is yet. As I mentioned before, I will not be part of it. I'm family duties, family responsibilities, so I will not be doing it, but we will be doing some stuff live. I also want to thank Mr. Gibbs. Like I said, the ADA compliance that Trevor provides, the information that he provides you can save you up to $75,000 for the first offense. Second offense, you might as well just leave the country, because you're not going to be able to do business again. You're going to be paying a lawyer for the rest of your life. And then of course, Mr. Tommy Bopp, both of them part of charity collaborators, both of them great friends, both of them great partners. They can both be found under official charity collaborators. Folks, my name is Zach Clayton. I am the president and founder of Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. Please remember to love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you. We're only one race, and that's the human race. We all need to come together. We all need to be here for each other. If you're not helping someone, you're harming everyone. And as I always say, it's not difficult to help people if you know their story. Let's get together. Let's learn stories. Let's talk about people. Let's make sure that we're helping people out. Okay. We'll see you next week when we bring you the August wine group. We've got one of our missions solidified. Sorry, I thought I had to sneeze. We have one of our missions solidified, and that is Reboot VA. We're going to hopefully have at least one more, but this last week, let's pump it up and let's get the Marie, Barney, Boston. Let's get all that wine bought and support them out. Once again, my name is Zach Clayton. If you need me, 970-909-0751. One last time, that's 970-909-0751. Again, folks, please love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you. We'll see you next week right here on pACT.
Stepping out of her fear, bring me home. Out alone, show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.